What if I told you that Mohammad Shami was the worst power play bowler in IPL history? It's not true, not strictly. If he was, he wouldn't have bowled over 500 balls in the power play. But of the guys who have bowled that many deliveries, here he is. You'd need to lay down several Jason holders to even reach him from here. The reason I was looking at this at all was because of Deepak Chahar had taken a lot of wickets in the power play this season, and I seem to remember him doing that before. And so I wanted to check out where he went in like the all-time list. And it turns out that his numbers completely hold up. This is the bowlers who have delivered 500 balls in the power play of the IPL. So Chahar clearly is good at this, even after a COVID/UAE dip last year. But let's have a look at your other IPL power play specialists. There are 3 spinners and the rest are seamers, and I won't go through all of them, but instead I want to look at a few of the outliers. But let's start with an odd guy in the middle. Shane Watson is a top order batter who by the time he made the IPL was bowling at least 20 clicks slower than he did when he was young. His bowling often looked like your mate who loved the gym was trying to fight his own muscles to get down the other end. But because Watto was a clever bowler and could swing the ball, here he is. But let's look at the real outliers here, starting with Bhuvi Kumar. The only guys with a similar econ to him are the greatest modern seamer, Dale Steyn, the hardest hit bowler in T20 cricket, Sunil Narine, and the greatest seamer in T20, Lasith Malinga. Bhuvi has a better econ in the power play than all of them, and he never had Steyn's pace, Malinga's action, or Narayan's mystery. Everyone knows he's going to bowl fast medium, near enough to off stump, swing it both ways, and yet no one has ever found a way to hit him. And he used to have one of the best averages as well in the power play. But if you look at the years when he's had more than 10 games, you can see other than a blip season in 2015, he always took wickets in the power play, and then he stopped. I have seen this pattern before. Once a bowler gets so good as a power play bowler, teams essentially stop taking risks off them at all. So their run rate remains low, sometimes even dips, but their average balloons. In no season has he ever gone at over 8 runs and over in a power play. He's had 3 years at under a run a ball. You are not going to smash him consistently. And if you try, he will get you out. So why try? Why not work him around and attack the others? That seems to have been the meeting that all the batters have had. Let's just pop over here for a bit of a similar bowler, Praveen Kumar, the man with the perfect wrist position. Because he was, at his peak, nearly as hard to score off as Bhuvi. In fact, let's just look at him at his peak for a moment. The last couple of years didn't go well as he started really struggling with depression. They go up and down, so I just want to focus on him when he was at his best. Because people remember the headbutt and him coming forward about his mental health, but we've forgotten that he was incredible with the new ball. And that's why he used it so much. He bowled the most balls. No one has ever bowled more in the power play than Praveen Kumar, although Bhuvi might go past him this year. And it's worth talking about Bhuvi again because Praveen basically did the same thing, but slower than Bhuvi. And no one could hit him. But I think the most notable thing here isn't that at his best he had an incredible economy. It's for the entire time he just never took a lot of wickets in the power play in the seasons where he bowled there a lot. He was a lifetime low economy, bad average guy. And as you can see, he's on his own. I think wickets are more important than a good economy in the power play. But to do what Praveen did is absolutely remarkable. Let's head over here to Mitchell McClenaghan, one of cricket's many Mitches, the Mitch if you will. He was involved in much of Mumbai's early success. You can see him here with the 5th best average in the IPL power play. His economy is above average, but worth factoring in how often he bowled at Wankhede for that. But he's taking wickets so often that you can actually forgive that mark regardless of the pitch. Think of him like an attacking left back. His defensive skills might have let him down on occasions, but he helped you score more goals than others in his position. And here's the thing for me on this. McClenaghan is not like that for other teams. He's been really good in the power play for Auckland and 1 season for the Sydney Thunder, but overall his average for Mumbai is so much better than for everyone else combined. And his econ is the same. So why is this? Is it conditions based? Role based? I don't know. But it's weird that no team has him on their roster at the moment. He did this on a batting friendly surface and helped the best team win a title, and he's gone from that to out of the league. It's also worth noting that Mitchell McClenaghan is better in the power play than Mitchell Johnson. He is the King Mitch of the power play. You probably didn't expect to come on this video and hear a lot about LB Morkel, but he is one of the most underrated T20 players of all time. There was always this feeling that he would lose his cool under pressure, but I think he was just a bit of a limited bowler and batter. It wasn't that he couldn't handle the pressure. He was just a dynamic hitter with holes in his game and a medium pacer who could swing it. He averaged 26 with the bat and 25 with the ball in his career. That alone makes him one of the best all-rounders to play the game. Weirdly, after he stopped with Chennai, he didn't travel the world playing as much league cricket. He never played more than 10 games for a side outside of South Africa again, yet his numbers got better. His power play numbers aren't great here, and yet he bowled game after game. That's a tactical move. In this league, he would have been suited to bowling more in the middle, where he was by far at his best for Chennai. But they backed their spinners in the middle, and they were willing to have his figures work for the overall balance of their side. And during his time with them, Chennai won 2 IPLs, came runner-up 3 times, and made the finals in their worst season. They used him out of position, and that makes his record look bad, but it was ultimately worth it for them. If wickets are more important than econ in the power play, and yes, I've already said that once, and I'm going to say it again because they are, then Ashwin is the greatest power play bowler ever in the IPL. Should we pause for a moment here and just, really enjoy the oddity of this? Now, this is partially a usage thing, as Ashwin has had very bad years with the new ball as well. It's just that his best years are crazy. If you have a seamer with bad years, it's hard to hide them. If you have a spinner with a bad year, they just go back to the middle overs where they belong. And Ashwin looking like, from the outside, he's the best in the power play, is a little bit like Rashid Khan and the death. But so much of this is conditions based. If the pitch looks like it's going to help spinners, Ashwin is more likely to get the new ball. And when Rashid Khan is on top, he's more likely to bowl the death. Many seamers just get the ball no matter what, with a simple, good luck fella. Like compare Ashwin to Bhuvi here from 2012 to 2019. Bhuvi went over 200 balls a couple of times. Ashwin's only ever been over 150 once. Compared to Bhuvi, Ashwin is a power play tourist. That doesn't mean he's not good. And when he is good, there is simply no one like him. There have been 4 seasons where he's bowled in the power play with an average around 15. But you can see some horrible numbers here too. And the reason is most probably to do with the fact that being a spinner in the power play is so conditions dependent. There are bowlers like Samuel Badri and Washington Sundar who through their styles are all-season opening spinners. Ashwin is clearly not like this. He's had 4 out-of-this-world seasons and 6 ordinary or far, far worse. But for everything I have said, Ashwin has a simply ridiculous record in the power play. I would certainly take Bhuvi before him, but I'd also like to use him there if he can take wickets like this. But all of this brings us back to Mohammad Shami. How is this possible? This is one of the world's best red ball bowlers, and he's got an incredible ODI record as well. So I figured, wait a minute, I'm going to have a quick look at his record in the first 6 overs of a test. And from almost 1,000 balls, it's clear he takes wickets with the very new ball in test cricket. And when I looked at it in ODIs, it was obvious that there was a slip there. There is something about the brand new white ball, how he bowls it, or whatever it is, that stops him getting wickets. His overall average is 25, which looks good, but that is because he takes a lot of wickets in the middle, which is very good, and the death, where most people do. His economy is high. It's actually very high in every part of the game. And this is what I think is more confusing. He doesn't take wickets, and he goes for runs. I could imagine kind of a bowler of his talent going for one or the other. But both? It's just weird. I talked to CricViz, and they thought maybe he would bowl a bit short with the new ball. And having a look at his lengths, they might be onto something. But either way, he doesn't swing the white ball like he does the red one. So on this, I have added his best ever power play season. You can see it right here, next to the average record of all bowlers in the power play. His best ever season, which was last year by the way, so maybe something's getting better, was still only average. It would seem that a bowler of his skill and pace would at least have accidentally got some wickets in the power play over the years. But it's not just him. It seems that the IPL power play is a tough beast, even on the very best bowlers in cricket today.